Hi, bees. Welcome to Guess and Gusto, a new virtual series connecting you to top artists, celebrities, and creative leaders. Today, we're talking to globally celebrated artist Ashley Longshore and visual storyteller Elisa Kreisinger. You can follow them on Instagram at Ashley Longshore Art and Pop Culture Pirate. I love that tag. Elisa is a writer, producer, and artist currently working in late night. Her solo gallery, Fair User, helped legalize internet meme culture, and her US Copyright Office testimony helped set the stage for video to dominate across social platforms. Ashley has been dubbed the female fashion darling by the New York Times. Her mixed media works blaze a path of pop art and high fashion, and she's known for collaborations with top brands and fashion icons. She's partnered, a sweet partnership, with Sprinkles on limited edition cupcakes. She transformed Diane von Furstenberg's flagship into a transformative art experience. She hosted an ultra hip party with Theo Kleppo at Art Basel Miami Beach. And she created an exclusive Art Basel Miami Beach collection with Maybelline New York, among tons of other really cool projects. It's going to be a really fun conversation, and you can ask questions using the Q&A function.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Ashley, let's actually just get started with the text you just got 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, what's up? First of all, I just want to say this is so exciting, and I love SCAD, and I think this is so cool that we're able to use technology to continue education in this way, and I'm so excited to talk about the good times and the bad times with you. Yeah, so a few minutes ago, I got a text message from this gallerist that said he had a client that was interested in a painting. Well, you know, I guess he didn't do his research about me because I don't really work with gallerists. I don't believe in a 50-50 model. It doesn't work for me. I have my own team. And I said, oh, hi, yeah, I don't work on a 50-50 basis. And he instantly started texting me all of these very famous male artists that do it and that work with him. So that's why I should do it. And I said, I'm sorry, I'll have to get back to you later because I'm going to do a lecture with SCAD about the art business and how it really works. I'll talk to you later today. There's nothing I like more than pissing a line in the sand with business. That's what you got to do, guys. That's what you got to do.
And you've been compared to female Andy Warhol. He gave you a whole bunch of names of male artists, right, that do 50-50?
Yeah, and that's fine. And, you know, 50-50 may work for a lot of people. And look, I don't mind that people use the reference to Andy Warhol. We're human beings, and we all like something to compare something else to. But I feel like I'm Ashley Longshore. Andy was Andy. I love using pop culture items to form a relatability instantaneously within my work. So yeah, you know, I'm fine with that.
Great. Okay, good. All right. So we have a poll going, and do we have the results of that poll yet? Let's see. I don't think so just yet. So once we do have the results of the poll, I will ask, we'll announce them. All right. So Ashley, let's start at the beginning. Where were you born? Where'd you grow up? How did you come to find painting?
Well, I'm originally from Montgomery, Alabama, and, you know, that was stifling. It's a very conservative southern city, obviously, and I felt like a weirdo my whole life growing up. I was like, you know, I don't feel like I fit in. I don't want to be in the cheerleading squad. I don't want to be a soccer mom driving around. I don't want to get married in Montgomery. I feel like the thing that troubled me the most as a child by feeling awkward is the very thing that has made me who I am now. Because luckily, you know, I don't think like the average human being, and I am a weirdo. And I think as a bunch of creative art students, we can all agree that that's definitely a blessing and not a curse, or maybe it's both. So I grew up there, and then I went to boarding school briefly, north of Atlanta, which I absolutely loved, at Brunel Academy. Then I went off to Montana, and I went to college at the University of Montana, but I'm a self-taught artist. I did not have all this magnificent creative arts education that you guys are getting here at SCAD. I had to figure it out on my own. And I feel like the hotter the fire, the stronger the steel. I've taken a real ass whooping out there in the business world, and I've had to learn how to stand up for myself in the art market after being told repeatedly that I was not marketable and that I would not make it, and to go get a corporate job and go sit in a cubicle. That really fueled my fire. And, you know, there's nothing like giving the middle finger to a bunch of people that told you you couldn't make it. Now, that being said, as an artist and a creative person, my 20s and where you guys will be when you get out of school, it is challenging. It is hard. You know, you're already figuring out where your brilliance lies within all these different creative mediums because you're in this unbelievable art school. But when you get out there, you know, you got to be prepared to take that whooping, to hear that no, to know that this is a numbers game, and to be as creative with your marketing as you are with your actual artwork. I feel like, too, the most important relationships that you're going to have, and again, you're already so lucky because you're already in this hyper creative community, and hopefully you're building friendships that you're going to be able to have throughout your career as artists. But starting to really build those friendships, you know, this is how these big collaborations end up happening. You know, it's all through this hyper connectivity that you will have when you get out of school. And again, your 20s are really hard. You know, there is no instant gratification in the art world. Now, I say that, and I normally say instant gratification will only get you drunk, high, or pregnant. As a painter, I can tell you there is a lot of instant gratification to my life, and it's very calming. I have an idea, I paint it, boom, instant gratification. When you start to go out there and market yourself as an artist and put yourself out there in a business sense, there will be a lot more of that that space in between, you know, that yes, I did it. You got to be able to give yourself that little talk of like, yes, I emailed 10 people today. Yes, I made 3 calls. Yes, I worked on my project. Yes, I'm hyper organized. Amen. Hallelujah. I'm pulling it all together. That is so important that throughout your 20s, you have this inner monologue of positivity and patting yourself on the shoulder for all the little steps you're going to take. They're going to push you exactly where you need to be in the art business world.
I love that. That is so important. You also answered like 5 of my follow-up questions. So
sorry.
Bye. I'm good.
But literally what I'm trying to say is the best part about your 20s is that, you know, this may or may not be okay to say, but, you know, firm boobs. But seriously, no. And so enjoy your youth.
What was your mantra when you got the response from people that you should go get a corporate job? Like, you maintained positivity. Was there a mantra? Was there something that you had to remind yourself of every day? How did you survive that?
Oh, it was like throwing bales of hay on a fire of ambition. And I got to tell you something. I think as artists, we all do this. You know, this is a, you know, some people may say, oh, it's lonely. No, it's solitary. Being an artist there's a lot of solitude involved in what we do. You know, sitting there and stirring, minding my own business, making a plan, balancing that, you know, sending emails to people, you know, balancing that social media, balancing making calls, you know, connectivity with people, and the creativity you know, there's nothing like being where I am in my career now and going, remember when you said I wasn't marketable? Big mistake, huge. And I don't have any ill will about that. It's just like, you know what? You didn't believe in me, but I believed in me. And that's why I was saying earlier, having that inner voice of I've got this, you know, because creative people, we are very sensitive. And creativity goes far beyond just creating your art. It can go into oh no, they don't like me. Oh my God, I'm never going to get a job. How am I going to pay my rent? We can build cities in our mind very, very quickly as creative people. We are sensitive. That's a very good thing, you know, but you've got to have that strong inner voice, that confidence, and that little engine I can do this, that is going to get you, you know, through the rejection that you most certainly are going to have.
Right. So don't take that seriously when you get that rejection. Have that inner monologue going that's kind of always pumping yourself up, always encouraging yourself to keep going. But I'm curious, like you just threw out like 3 full-time jobs. You're an artist, you know how to market yourself, and you have a profitable business doing those 2 things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But that's 3 full-time jobs. So how did you get good at, how do you manage all 3 of them?
I'll tell you how I manage it, because if I didn't take the bull by the horns, not only am I giving up the opportunity to know who my clients are, you know, I'm giving up 50% of my profit margins. 50%. And look, there's some amazing gallerists out there. I don't want to come on here and slam gallerists. That is a wonderful avenue for people to get you out there. But I think you really have to understand that that gallery works for you. You need to approach them. If they think you're marketable and sellable, why don't you ask them first and foremost, well, if you believe in me so much, would you be willing to write me a check right now for the 50% of all this? You take the inventory and you sell it. Don't get caught up in interior designers and people going, oh, I want to hang your work on consignment. Because you know what, honey? They paid for the lamps and the rugs and the sofas and everything else that are in there. There's no reason why you should be undervalued just because you're an artist. I do all these jobs because I want to have control over my own career. She who toots her own horn controls the volume. Period. The end. Now, is it stressful? You damn right it is. Is it hard? Abso-fucking-lutely. Do I love it? Every fucking minute of it. This is a way that there's no reason why I can't be an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, and an artist. I'm creating tangible items that people are buying. While I'm alive, I want to experience these relationships with the collectors that are spending money to live with my thoughts and my energy. If I go through a gallery directly, what if the gallery closes? I don't know who my clients are. The best client is already a client. How's that for an answer? Not only do I have my own career, but now I've created 30 jobs. You know, people are thriving. They're buying houses. I mean, like right now is a weird time right now, 100%. But like, you know, when things are back up and running, which they will be, and I believe that 100%, you know, people are thriving. They're thriving. You know, I love that. This is America, damn it. I love it.
Now, just from a perspective of scale, as a business person, how did you scale your voice and your vision and your creative essence into a shop? Like, it's one thing to say, like, I'm a business person and like have a viable business, you sell products, which you do, but you scaled your vision to a point where it can be duplicated. You can do big installations and take on big projects. How did you do that? How do you teach other people to harness?
Okay, here's the thing. I started out and I painted in the back of my house that I rented. I started out painting as much as I could. I started out being extremely, unbelievably prolific, knowing that the faster I could get my thoughts onto the canvas, the more opportunities I had to connect with people out there, which would result in money. You know, artists need money. And I want you guys to understand this. Just because you're an artist doesn't mean that you can't say you want to have money and be successful. You should have all the money in the world. There's an endless amount of it. You go out there, you're creating tangible items, you're creating film, you're creating fashion, you're creating sculptures, photography. There's no reason why you can't go out there and be as big and grand as you want to be. I started out painting in the back of my house. Then I had this little bitty, I call it my little rat hole studio that I loved so much. The rent was like $700 a month, and I stayed in there till 4 years ago. Till 4 years ago. You know why? Because I was marketing myself in every other major city in America where they had lots of entrepreneurial money, where they were spending, where they didn't have to go, you know, make out with their husbands. And I'm being very nice right now with that language, in order to go buy something. You know, again, there is no instant gratification. You know, I'm 20 years into a career. It took me 20 years to get there. And this is why I want a world full of financially abundant artists. Because you know what? The more you have there, we're not trying to build skyscrapers or anything. We just want to make our ideas come to fruition. We need money for that. You deserve to make money. You deserve to have success. You deserve to have everything you want. The way you get there is the same way you get to the top of Mount Everest. I got this. I did good today. Maybe it was snowing today and I could only take 4 steps. Maybe the next day the sun will shine and I will get further up the mountain. But you can't just zing right up there in one day. There is no instant gratification.
I love that. And you've said in past interviews that painting brought you a joy and a meditative calm.
Oh my God.
Was it a survival mechanism? Can you talk a little bit about that and how you found that to be? And does that still exist for you? That
yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I feel like as artists and creative people, we can all agree that, like, you know, there's a certain amount of anxiety, maybe weirdness, a different perspective of the world. And, you know, I realize I am an anxious person, you know, like, am I confident? Yes. Am I extroverted? Yes, but I'm also very introverted. When I found art, I found this meditational, quiet calm within the world. And I think a lot of you would feel the same way about that. This is our cocoon. You know, and when I started painting, I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do with my life. I didn't want to go marry a rich man. I didn't want to be a trophy wife. I didn't want to go out there and get a corporate job and be in a cubicle. Hell no. So what do? I've sat around and I've painted all these paintings. I'm looking at them and I'm going, I've built a wall between me and the world where I feel comfortable. Then I'm realizing, well, my God, I'm an entrepreneur. Well, I could sell these things. This could be how I go out there. I start. And this was a long time ago, and y'all probably won't even know what I'm talking about. I had to make slides of my artwork to send to like galleries. And I got one rejection letter after another, you know. I'd go visit my friend in Minneapolis. I would call up galleries. I would go visit them. I would take my portfolio. They would tell me, you know, oh, thanks, you know, it's cute. You gotta just, like, you know, be a steamroller out there and like go after it, you know, fearlessly.
What was the feedback that you were getting from gallerists? Like, and did it take you?
Well,
like,
you have to understand it in a 50-50 model, you know, they've got to have a certain amount of confidence that something is going to sell. And I think you get used to what does sell. And then, you know, maybe you're fearful of anything else without somebody being a celebrity's daughter or there being some really outrageous, you know, hook there. Now, that being said, that's not every gallery. There's plenty of galleries out there that you know, and I'm not here to slam galleries. There are galleries out there that are so incredible that have lifelong 70-year relationships with their artists, you know. But yeah, I mean, I basically was told that, you know, that I wasn't marketable. They basically told me I sucked, you know, and I was like, you know what, F you, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do. So I don't have to make anybody happy but myself, and you don't have to make anybody happy but yourself on your creative journey. And you don't have to necessarily explain why you paint what you paint or why you don't paint what you don't paint. You finding an authentic voice and your individuality and going out there makes you so instantly marketable, it's not even funny. That's why in your 20s, you've got to get over that initial hump of rejection that I promise you, no doubtedly, is going to come right at you. It's going to happen.
Yeah, and it happens in your 30s too. I'm 33. I can say it's still around.
And 40s, it just, you know, like getting used to rejection as an artist, you got to get used to it. This is why that inner voice of you going, I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm saying. I believe in me. I will stand up for myself. I mean, I'm at a point now in my career with these big, you know, collaborations that I've done where I got to walk into a boardroom in New York City at a, you know, where there's 15 corporate people, men and women. And I got to say, honey, this is why you got to pull out your checkbook right here. Let me show you what the value is. Let me tell you why you're wrong about that opinion. Let me tell you why I'm right for this. Fighting for it, standing up for yourself, being confident.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that confidence because I have 2 questions because I don't know if I'm personally stuck on this because I've spent years in therapy trying to get to that confidence. So was that something you were born with, or did you work through a ton of shit to get that confident to be able to walk into a boardroom and say, like, this is what I need, this is what I'm worth?
I don't have anything to fucking lose. Okay, I already told you that I felt weird as hell when I was little, and I learned all about rejection in junior high and high school when I was this little nerd, this over-enthusiastic, weird, nerd. I feel like the confidence comes with experience. The confidence comes when the rejections hit you like a pile of bricks and you have nothing to depend on but yourself. The only person in your life you will have a relationship with throughout the entire course of your life is you. That's why that positive thought and that little engine that could is so important, especially being an artist, because we are sensitive. We are creative, you have to protect that.
Yes, I love that. Okay, wonderful. And then, so you have this confidence, you're walking into these boardrooms. Take us through the journey between teaching yourself to paint, feeling zen in that space, and then walking into the boardroom. You had those relationships, you built those friendships. Anything else that kind of helped you along the way to go from that scrappy apartment to walking into that boardroom and saying, give me your money, take out your check?
I mean, I feel like it's about the opportunity is right. And these things didn't really start happening until like the last 7 or 8 years. Because I've been putting myself out there in different markets. I knew living in New Orleans was easy because this is a city that celebrates the arts. That being said, there isn't that much money here. There's a lot more entrepreneurial money in a city like Houston or Dallas, San Francisco. Los Angeles is even a strange city to sell artwork in. Atlanta, tons of entrepreneurs. Miami, Chicago. So I was marketing myself all over those places. That being said, I've started to build this web of connectivity and collecting people's emails, building, friendships with collectors that were buying art in different cities where I would have a friend and say, hey, why don't we do a pop-up in New York at your apartment and you can invite your friends. I'll go in on the wine. I'll give you a painting. And then, every person that came to that little party in New York City the next day, I just want to tell you how great it was to meet you. Thank you so much for coming. Even if they didn't buy anything, thank you for your good energy. It was great to meet you. Boom. I've got their email. I've got them on my list. They were there. You know what? I have to tell you, probably 70% of those people ended up buying art, just not all in that one moment. I feel like when you start to see things with that type of connectivity and one day at a time, one email at a time, you do get to that point where somebody goes, hey, I know that, Maybelline is doing this big initiative. I'm going to hook you up with them. Next thing I know, the phone rings. Maybelline wants to do a big, huge collaboration. Gucci wants to do a thing. Next thing you know, I'm emailing freaking Tommy Hilfiger and his wife. And, we're having a party for our Basel. And then I'm doing a big thing for Judith Lieber. You just go in, and I feel like once you get to that point, you've already gone through the rejection phase. You've already gone through being broke as hell. You've already gone to I got to pay my rent. I didn't have any money. I didn't know I was going to pay my rent. The other thing that I find so important in building your confidence as an artist is celebrate every little thing. I celebrate a huge sale now the same way I celebrated selling a $300 little painting I did on scrapwood I got from Home Depot for $20. Yes, I did it. I'm that much closer to being able to pay my rent. Now it's yes, I did it. I'm that much closer to being able to go paint a whole collection in Italy when it opens back up. It's that, I've got this mentality that is so important to your creative career. Your relationship within yourself is so crucial. And once you get there, you could walk into any room and tell them anything that you believe. You know who you are, you know what you stand for, and you know what you're trying to say. So hell no, I have no fear in walking into a conference room full of people. Hell no, I have no fear of telling them what I want. Why would I? It's the only way I can get it. And I've been turned down more than a bed in a cheap motel. So I'm fine with a no. I've taken a lot of no's.
So how do you stay inspired visually and entrepreneurially? Let's start with visually first. How do you keep inspired, stay inspired? Where do you find stuff that you want to cover? Isn't
that the easy part? I feel like being able to just paint and be creative, whether I have like a brand new idea or I continue to paint in collections. As long as I'm painting, I feel good. I feel good on the inside. It helps my anxiety. I've done something productive. I've created an item that somebody may fall in love with and want to buy, you know? As an entrepreneur, I mean, as a female artist and a female entrepreneur, I got something to prove. I've got a statement to make that the only thing I can't make is sperm. I can go out there and if I'm willing to do it and I
buy it, you don't need to make it. You can buy it.
Right. I'm just saying physically, I cannot make sperm, you know, but you're right. You can buy it. I'm just saying, I believe in America. I believe in opportunity. I believe in going after it. And, you know, setting goals as an entrepreneur is a very exciting thing because, again, now I have this team and I get to watch other people thrive too. There's an endless amount of money out there. This is really, money's just a digital game at this point. There's no gold to back it up. This is numbers. This is just shifting numbers. You got to go out there and get yours. All of that opportunity is right here. You can either focus on what you have here as an opportunity as an artist, or you can focus on everything outside of that circle. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, I don't have that. I don't have that opportunity. I don't know how to do that. I didn't get that. They rejected me. No. Boom. Right here. You've got it all right here.
I love that. Is there a point though where you start to listen to criticism just a little bit and you say, oh, you know what, that might be a valid thing? And where do you draw the line? Because you do want your art to get better. You do want to start, sometimes I hear people, I'm like, oh, you know what, that actually is a good note and this isn't a good note. This is a good note, this isn't. How did you figure out that? And what impact did it have on, or if any, on your artwork?
I mean, you know, opinions and critics and criticism. Okay. All right. That's fine. They're a bunch of assholes. It doesn't really make a difference if I'm doing what brings me joy anyway. You know, yeah, people are awful. I mean, they say awful things. You know, I mean, I get people that send me nasty messages. There are people that hate my artwork. They think it sucks. Okay. Don't look at it. I'm not the evening news. I didn't invite you to come to my feed. You came here, you know, you walk in my gallery. I didn't, you know, it was your choice to come in here. Why you got to be an asshole? Their problem is not my problem. Their problem is not my problem.
So joy, your personal joy and your personal, like what you find beautiful and what makes you happy to make is your direction. That is your North Star. That's how you are directed. You block everything out and this is what makes me happy. This is what I'm going to do.
Yes.
I'm so sorry to ask because it's so foreign to me. I don't know if it's foreign to anybody else on this talk.
Yes.
But I'm sorry to harp on it. It's just like a mind fuck.
Yes. I mean, I feel like, you do what you love. You have to know that you know, somebody's always got something to say. I will tell you this, being an artist or a creative of any type. I mean, look at how we dress. Look at our fashion, which by the way, I literally went for a bike ride in this a little while ago, but I love Freddie Mercury, so represents. There's plenty of fashion out there that I love and I think it's amazing that maybe would work on my body or not. There's lots of things out there that I think are awful. But you know what? It doesn't matter because the things that I do choose to wear and the connectivity that I do have, that's what matters. As a creative person putting something out there, you will find an audience of people that will love and appreciate what you're creating. You need to focus on that, not the people that don't understand you. Focus on the people that are nurturing you, supporting you financially, you know, buying your art, buying your fashion, watching your films, and go from there. You know, it's a hard lesson. And look, I mean, I still get people that are assholes that say stuff and I get upset. I'm not going to lie, but then I just have to let it roll off of me like water off a duck's back. You know, I've got a job to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have a staff to maintain and you got it. Like you said, you're a job creator. Like you got to keep the train on the rails, so to speak. You have worked early and often with social media and technology. Can you talk a little bit about that and how you started there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, it's free. It's free. It's a platform that's free. And I mean, again, in the beginning, I would go to Modern Postcard. I would get postcards. I would buy stamps. I would mail them out to people. And it's like the expense of that was huge in the beginning. It was huge. And then fortunately, throughout all this technology, you realize this immediate, instant gratification, connectivity of technology that connects you to people that already love what you do. That's awesome. You know, you can build a family of collectors online and reach out to them, and it doesn't cost you a dime. And I think that's a great tool. Now, is that the answer to everything? Hell no. It's the cherry on top. You've got to go out there. You've got to meet people. You've got to have shows. You've got to interact with the public. You've got to travel. You've got to maintain this web of connectivity that is 360 degrees. It isn't just Instagram or TikTok or, you know, it isn't just that. It's everything all together. You know, you can't make a cake without, well, I guess you can make a cake without flour, but you know what I mean? Like, you need all of those ingredients. You need them all.
Right. What would you say to somebody who struggles with making friends and finding that connectivity and building those relationships? And they're saying like, look, I became a painter because I like the quiet meditative space. That's why I do this. Going out there, that's scary. I don't want to do it. It's not why I became a painter. What would your advice be?
I mean, look, social media is a great way to quietly put yourself out there. It doesn't always have to be loud. I'm loud as hell. I'm big and loud and full of expletives and wildness. You know, I should wear a t-shirt that says I'd rather be on a party bus, you know. It doesn't always have to be that way. You find your own voice, and that's what you're doing right now. You know, and if you are that type of personality, maybe, you know, working with an amazing gallerist who understands you, who understands what you want out of your art career, which you should absolutely say what you want in the beginning. You know, there are no rules. There is no one way to do this. This is why I try to tell artists, be as creative with your marketing as you are with your art. It's one voice. You're selling your spirit. It's your spirit. Find out how to put your energy out there and find the other people that love that. Period. That's what it is. It's magnetic.
It is. It totally 100% it is. Now, do you have people that have helped you along the way, like say keep your business running, like, or is half your day, like let's say the quarter of your day is like doing the books, or I don't even know what, you know, you're keeping your business running, and then the other quarter of the day is painting, and then the other quarter is social media. Like, how do you physically find time to do everything and or are you really good at also asking for help? Are you just good at
I'm good at delegating. If you have time to pee, you have time to make a post. Okay. It's part of your marketing plan, and it's easy. So like for me, I would wake up, have my daily thought, put it out there. What is the optimism, positivity? What art do I want to put? Am I about to release a new collection? Am I going to put that out there, let my clients know? Am I going to work with one of my graphic designers and put together an email campaign that like celebrates, like, hey, we got a new collection coming out there. Get ready. We're launching it. Then I come in here, I'm painting. I've got my team across the street. They're calling me at this point. Fortunately, I'm able to have a CFO that works all the numbers where, you know, it's incredible. But in the beginning, when I had my little rat hole studio, at a point when I could financially do it and I felt comfortable, I hired someone to come in and help me with these emails, help me follow up with collectors. Then when I started adding like bedazzle and things like that to my work, I hired an apprentice that could help me do that. Well, then just like any other, you know, laws of supply and demand, as things were selling, you know, I was able to hire another person and another salesperson. Then I'm like, you know what? Damn, we need a graphic designer. We could do mock-ups for clients that could help me design things that I want to put on social media. Let's do that. Well, you know, now I've got 4 graphic designers. So it's very natural. It's not all of a sudden. It's happened over a period of time. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're saving your money. I mean, you know, you got to be smart and diversified.
100%. And on that same note, at the end of the day, you can't burn out. Like, you can't afford to burn out on yourself starting your own startup when that startup is you.
I get so high. I paused like that for a reason. On the energy of being on an airplane, getting off, coming in, seeing my team, having a deadline, knowing I've got a show. I get so high on the energy of all of that I just go and go and go. Now, it could exhaust other people. And my friends are like, Ashley, are you okay? Like, I'm checking on you. And I'm like, am I okay? Are you kidding me? I've been in New York for 3 days and I'm going to fly to San Fran. I got 3 days in there. I'm going to paint like a wild woman and I'm getting on an airplane to fucking London. I'll sleep on the way over there. Then I'm going to meet, you know, like, I love that. This is it, man. This is life. I'm in my 40s. I'm in the prime. I love it. I love all that energy and interaction. I thrive on it, but you know, you've got to find your own little energy and then go for it. You know, find your voice, find what you want to say, find your audience and do it patiently and be kind to yourself along the way. And the rest will happen. I promise you.
I love that. And on that note, I just want to talk about the winner of the poll was your work with Diane von Furstenberg. So can you talk a little bit about that? And then after that, we'll open it up for Q&A.
Yes, absolutely. So I went to go visit my friend Rochelle, who has a company called Lingua Franca. And I'm sure you guys have seen her sweaters that say like, I'm Miss Barack. And she's so cool. She's talk about energetic. This woman, she is such a feminist. She loves women. It's amazing. Anyway, so I went to her little opening in New York and the CEO of DVF was there. And she was like, you need to check your DMs. I've been trying to message you. And I'm like, oh my God, because I make somebody else check my DMs because, you know, crazy people. And so she said, we want to do something with you. So I guess this was in October. Well, then I was over in London in November when they unveiled my Gucci over there, my mural that I did with Gucci. And it just so happened that Diane was at Claridge's unveiling her Christmas tree. And I'm like, oh my God, I emailed Sandra. I'm like, oh my God, Diane is here. We were going to get together and talk. She's like, oh, let me message her. So next thing you know, I'm sitting there having tea with Diane von Furstenberg and talking about, you know, how she wanted me to do these paintings of incredible women. And I'm like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. So then she wanted them all up by the beginning of March. I didn't get the list of the women that she had chosen until the end of January, and I ended up having 2 weeks to do it, and I painted 37 paintings in the 2 weeks of all the women that she wanted. I had ice packs on my shoulders. I thought I was going to die. I had a massage therapist to like rub my hips. I had ice on my wrists, and we got everything up, and the response was just it was incredible. And it was supposed to be just for a couple of months. And Diane said, no, darling, we're not taking this down. And so we kept adding women. Well, then I'm up there and I'm standing there and Diane's like, oh, I want you to meet my friend Gloria. And I'm like, oh my God, it's glorious. And I'm literally about to die right now. And she just, you know, it is a very powerful room. But, you know, again, it had to be their idea. And I feel like with a lot of these big collaborations, that opportunities that you will get to in your career, you could send emails all you wanted to. It has to be their idea. Same way that I had my thing with Bergdorf Goodman, you know, I mean, that was their idea. They wanted me to have 2 paintings. And I said, listen, I've got furniture, I've got sculptures, I've got paintings. Let me send you a PDF. I think I could do the whole haul. And they were like, okay, well, we'll send it. Well, next thing you know, I'm the first female artist that they gave a solo edition to. And then they mentioned one window, and I ended up painting like 211 paintings and pulling from my inventory, and every window down Fifth Avenue, all 6 of them, full of my art and chairs and, you know, hard work, ambition, connectivity. All of these things will get you where you need to go. Enthusiasm and gratitude also will be very important in your career. Very, very important. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
You are so wonderful. I'm going to open it up to Q&A. for right now. We've got 11, 12 questions. I'm not sure if we'll get to them all, but we will try our best. We've got Taylor. Taylor says, hello, I love hearing about your feelings of being a weirdo in your hometown. I'd like to hear your thoughts on incorporating that weird into your brand, such as on Instagram. I know you do a ton of sort of weird videos, that chicken and egg video. So can you talk a little bit about weirdness and how you made that your brand?
I think as artists, we all feel weird, and the weird is what makes us wonderful. And I feel like I try to put that messaging out there that the world needs you. You need to fly your freak flag. I feel like, I'm still on my own creative journey of becoming more vulnerable as an artist and sharing those things. I think that it takes time and experience to maybe take some of those feelings that I'm becoming more comfortable sharing with you and finding out how to then put that on a canvas where it translates right into my own style, I feel like I just did a really weird painting of myself, the two sides of myself as the Shining twins. That was super weird. And then I just did 7 paintings of me topless with my gut out of all the different things society wants me to be as a woman, which tickled me to death. But I called my dad and I'm like, Dad, I just want you to know that I'm going to have my titties on Instagram. And he's like, oh, Lord, oh, Ashley, why would you do that? Oh, my God. And I said, well, I'm an artist. I have to. So I'm I'm working on talking more about the weird. I appreciate that question.
Okay, we've got Louisa. She's a senior fiber student, and in our program, we are really encouraged to have a daily practice each day that influences our practice and craft. Do you have a daily practice that you do or some kind of routine, especially now when the days feel a little bit different? How do you maintain inspiration and have a routine? What's your routine for your practice?
It is so funny, but I have my best ideas when I'm like naked in water. Like I take a bubble bath and I relax and everything is still and I have my phone right there and I'll start to daydream and then I'll write down ideas of paintings that I want to do. And I don't know if it means I'm a witch or if I just like being naked or what it is, but I feel most comfortable doing that. My ritual really is getting on Instagram and making like an uplifting, positive post in the morning because it sets my own mind. I love putting some optimism out there, putting something funny, laughing. I love music. I listen to music so much when I'm painting. So those are my rituals. I also spray, just like smudge spray that like smells like Palo Santo that my friend makes.
I love that. I love that. And on the topic of water, that's a thread that I've noticed a lot of artists have in trying to get ideas. They're in some type of body of water, or they go to the water, they go to the ocean, or they swim in the ocean, or they take a bubble bath.
It's like a magnet. It's like a magnet. I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about why. I don't like to ask why. I like to ask why not. So, if it takes me being naked, sitting in water to get my ideas, I've got more than enough time for that.
Love that. Okay. We've got a question from Christina. Awesome discussion. What advice do you have for our students that are living in this disrupted world, yet ripe for opportunity?
You think we're talking specifically about right now and in this madness that we're all dealing with?
Yes.
Here's what I'm doing. I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm trying to have a schedule, trying to keep some sort of a schedule. Wake up, put on clothes. That's a good start. Brushing my fangs. Yay. Congratulations. I did that. Naked jumping jacks in front of the mirror just to really toughen myself up for the day. And then, start my process, start talking to my team. I think also knowing, like, this morning, I had a massive panic attack. I had to get on my bicycle and go ride around the park twice. I just woke up riddled with anxiety and panic. I think you have to know that you're not alone in those feelings right now. We're all there. I think you need to be really kind to yourself. I'm trying to tell myself the same thing. We're all doing the best that we can and we'll get through this, but people seeing your creativity is a joyful thing. And being an artist, you are spreading joy. When you find people that are like-minded and connect magnetically with what you're creating, there is an instantaneous amount of joy, and the world needs that right now. So if you are able, create. If you're not able right now, just go for a walk. You know, it's all right if you don't feel like setting the world on fire right now on your easel or on your sewing machine. It's okay. Being patient with yourself is the most important thing right now. And I'm telling myself that. So we're going to get through this. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, I love that. Katie wants to know, what type of music are you listening to right now?
I love Sophie Tucker right now. I'm listening to a lot of Sophie Tucker. You know, I would be lying to you if I told you there's a lot of mornings, especially right now when I'm stressed out. I always put on my Stacey Casey. I love some Casey Musgraves in the morning. I love, oh my God, hold on. Let me tell you who's in the top of my iTunes right now. Why don't we just go there? Let's see. I love a new Weekend album. I think it's great. I love Fearless by Pink Floyd. Kali Uchis, Isolation, lots of Zoo, Generation Y. I'm into like a lot of kind of this like housey, techno-y, kind of like flowy music. Love Delegation, love my friend G-Eazy. But yeah, lately a lot of DaBaby, Sophie Tucker. Yeah. Nick Drake always in the evenings, you know.
Yeah.
Everything.
And Laura Ford wants to know, who was your biggest mentor or person that you looked up to as you started your career and maybe today?
My father's been very supportive of me, not financially, by the way, because he cut me off and said, girl, you got to figure this thing out on your own so you can always take care of yourself no matter what. But very supportive of me. And then, God, my friend Fran Hauser, my friend Wendy Wurzberger, there have been so many amazing women throughout my journey that have given me advice, that have been financially supportive and bought my artwork. You know, it takes time to accumulate those people, but this is what I was saying about your friendships. Building those friendships are so important as young as you are right now, you know?
Totally. Yeah. It's such an interesting time to think about friendships too, as we're also disconnected from one another in real time, and yet sometimes even more connected through social media and Zoom like this. Taylor wants to know, how has your voice and style changed over the years? What did your earlier work look like?
Very colorful, very figurative. I think, you know, and you guys will see this in yourselves as you have more years under your belt as artists. You'll be able to see how your perspective, your wisdom will change things in your work. I think I had some breakthrough moments when I incorporated some text into my work. And again, you know, I'm still on my creative journey of being more vulnerable and tapping more into myself and everything, not just being, you know, Audrey Hepburn or pop culture things or, you know, images of money. I mean, there's so much more than that. So, yeah, that's that.
Great. And Lauren had a different Lauren than the other one from before. Says, I'm a fashion marketing and management senior and I graduated this quarter. Oh, Lauren, that's great. You graduated this quarter. I hope you got to go to graduation. I am also a fine artist and illustrator. So basically you have my dream job. I've been an avid follower of yours for years now, and I see you sometimes posting job opportunities on your social media. So what do you look for in a team member? And what advice would you give to someone like us who are starting to enter the workforce right now, being a young artist?
2 things: enthusiasm, gratitude. Team player. Are you too good to pick up a broom and sweep up gold leaf? I don't think so. I've done all that, you know. It is really about teamwork. But I promise you, when you get out there, being excited and enthusiastic about opportunities, about what you're bringing to the table, about learning, about notes that somebody might be giving you, and then the gratitude for the opportunity to learn from the situation, even if you have rejection. enthusiasm and gratitude are the cornerstones of a great career, no matter what you're doing. And I have the most enthusiastic, gracious, hardworking, ambitious, unbelievable, creative bunch of amazing, awesome weirdos that work for me. They're the most wonderful people. Very well curated, but you know, everybody needs a team like mine. So just put yourself out there and be yourself.
I love that. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard to do. So this is from, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name, Benisola. Hi, Ashley. I think you're amazing. How do you deal with anxiety when posting your work on platforms like Instagram?
You know what? The same way I dealt with jumping off a diving board when I was learning how to swim. I just do it. 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 There's just no reason not to do it. And fear is not an option. And today is the day. And there's nothing like being in that moment. And this is life. And I just got to do it. Yeah, just do it. That's it. 100%. You just do it. That's it. That's all.
And we have time for one last question. There's two really good ones. So I'm going to try and push both of these through. Mary says, how has living in NOLA influenced your art?
You know, I think it may not specifically influence my subject matter, but it is a place where I feel safe being creative. It's such a city that celebrates the arts and always has, whether you're a poet or a writer or a chef or a painter. I just love this city. I love the music. I love everything about it. It's like mom when I get here. After I've been on planes and stuff like that, I feel the oak trees, the moss, the cicadas, even when it's hot as hell. You know, I found a place where I feel comfortable just being me. And that's what you got to find for your hub. You know, like I love New York. I'm in New York all the time. I love New York, but I can't paint in New York. There's too much energy. I'm too distracted. There's too much going on. And then, I mean, New Yorkers are like, let's have a 5 a.m. meeting. Let's have a breakfast meeting. Let's have a lunch meeting. Let's work all day. Then you have a cocktail meeting, a dinner meeting. Then you go to an event for another meeting. And I can't do that. You know, I can't do that nonstop.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard, and it zaps all the creativity out of you.
And you know what? There is no wrong. There is no wrong way. There is no right way. There's your way as a creative out there in the world. There's your way. You find out how to sustain your life, how to pay your bills, and be able to have what you need to have the life that you wanted. Success is very different for everybody. Success for me at one point in my career was being able to pay my rent. Success for me now is being in a position where I could take my team on a vacation and us can eat and lay out on the beach so that I can celebrate them for all the hard work that they've done. You know, little steps at a time.
And one last question from Renee. They ask, any advice for the older student who's starting a second career?
Well, how nice to be a creative person, because there's no window. There's no time, you're too old to be an artist. No. The sooner you start and the sooner you get started, whether that's when you're 20 or 50 or whatever, you can be creative throughout your entire life. It's magnificent. There are no boundaries on that. And you know what? I love a story like that about somebody who's, you know, worked or had another career and then decided, you know what, I want to go into the arts. What a great point of conversation to leave everything behind and then to completely immerse yourself into a world of creativity. And for people to be inspired by that, that is so fucking awesome. I love that. Again, there are no rules here, you know, there are no rules. There's no time frames. We have to just like let all that go, you know? And just be you and shine and believe in yourself. And you will find that magnetism of other people that relate to you. That's what's so great about being an artist. You know, we're like little Care Bears.
Ashley, this conversation has been so wonderful.
Thank you so much.
enthusiasm and gratitude. I have so much enthusiasm for you and gratitude to you for this conversation. Thank you so much for your time. When I was meditating today, I was like, you know what? Like, if you figure out what you want to do, like, you can do it, but it's all about making yourself happy. And then you said all that you just said, and why please other people? So thank you for all of your words of wisdom and your career, and just thank you for your positivity and energy.
Thank you so much. I enjoy this. And you students, go out there and kick some ass.